Hello, guys, and welcome to episode number 16 of the Heritage Agendas Football Podcast. As always, it's Abdi and I. How we doing, bro?
Yes, I'm doing well, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good, bro. Another very long week, but next week we get our little mini vacation, get international break, which is good. We've been cooking for a while, so, nice little reward. But
Yeah.
so far, so good, man.
Anything planned?
For next weekend or this
No.
weekend? Nah,
Yeah.
man, just chilling, bro. Relaxing, catching up on life. So much work,
Yeah.
bro. You know how it is.
Yes, sir. You don't gotta tell me twice.
I know,
But
man. By the way,
alhamdulillah,
your
can't
NFL
complain.
troll prediction was right. We actually did win. I literally was watching the
I
game.
saw that.
I was like, good. No more slander. We have another game this weekend. We can win against Minnesota. So,
The Giants play the Bills this weekend, and it's about to get ugly.
who'd
So
they play last week? Oh,
it's bad.
Miami. Oh, they lost. Are they one
Yeah,
and
the
four?
Dolphins. We are 1-4, man. We have officially
Oof.
put our hat in the Caleb
Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
sweepstakes. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, we will.
I
But
had I had high hopes coming into this season too, but
it's the hope
at
that
least
kills
coming
you,
off last
man.
year.
Any team in sports, it's always the hope that gets you.
Exactly. So I I'm rooting against everybody. You guys have two picks, so like I don't think it really matters for you guys, but
Yeah, that's true
we'll
too.
see.
But you know what we're gonna start with. I'm sure you know. For
Yes.
the first time
Oh.
since 2015, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal win against City in the league at home. It's been a long time coming. I'll just give you the floor,
Yeah.
bro. Just go crazy.
Oh my God. I was like I was watching that game and I was so proud. Like I was just like, what? Like I can't believe this is happening, especially after the goal. But even before that, we played it was a obviously two big teams playing against each other. Those games are never as exciting as they're supposed to be on paper.
Very tactical
Um,
game
but
too.
it
Yeah.
was yeah, very tactical. I enjoyed the game. I a lot of people said it was not a good game, but like for me, we didn't make any mistakes, which has killed us in the past. Last year it was Tomiyasu, and then Rob Holding getting cooked for 90 minutes. Um, but this year, everybody just played up to their standards. Like there was no drop off. Obviously, nobody is gonna play the game of their lives against a team like City, but nobody dropped a stinker. Declan Rice was unbelievable, especially in the second half. William Saliba was unbelievable for 90 minutes, especially against Holland and Alvarez and all those guys. And then my biggest takeaway was just I thought Arteta finally grew up. I think sometimes he is somebody who's very stubborn and sticks to the way he plays 90% of the time. I remember last year we played against Liverpool and we were winning 2-0 at halftime. And Klopp made some like tactical changes and the game completely flipped on its head before even the Shaka incident and all that stuff. Um, and you saw for like a while, like at least for the last 15, 20 minutes, you saw Zinchenko getting cooked. And Trent Arnold was getting in behind him, creating chances, wrecking havoc. And Arteta, he didn't sub him out until we conceded the second goal. And this game, he took him out as soon as Doku set foot on the pitch. Before even we created a chance, before we even scored a goal, he saw Doku coming on, and he knows Zinchenko played 70 minutes, odd minutes, and he's been working hard. He was doing whatever he does usually. And he took him out and brought Tomiyasu in, who's somebody who's a capable 1v1 defender,
Yeah.
who's big and can get past, right? I thought like, I was so happy seeing Tomiyasu coming on because I knew exactly what Pep was doing. And then Pep adjusted himself and moved Doku to the other side of the pitch against Ben White, who's typically not good against those kind of wingers. But overall, I thought like Arsenal as a team, as a football club, and Arteta as a manager, I thought we took one giant step forward together. And then it's just Martinelli scoring his first goal in this season. I know he wasn't supposed to play, and he fought through it and played. So it was just a great weekend. I thought I have nothing else to say. Everybody played so well, man. I was so proud of my team.
No, I agree, especially with the stuff you said towards the end with like it's like a symbolic win. It's like
Yeah.
I think back to mm, like there's an example where like during the Mourinho Pep era with Real Madrid versus Barcelona when Cristiano was just coming, I believe they had lost like five or six El Clasicos, and then they obviously had the famous 5-0, and then
Mm-hmm.
they had the draw before the Copa del Rey final where Mourinho was like half of it was just convincing my team that they believe they can win before they can
Yeah.
actually do it. And I think that that's what,
Mm-hmm.
we hear the process all the time. It's like the buzzword for Arsenal fans. And I think like that is what really embodies this. Like before, like Arsenal would just, they'd get into a game with City or one of those really, really top teams and they just kind of fold out. Like they just kind of fold immediately. Like there would be very
Yeah.
little resistance. One thing
Absolutely.
goes wrong, heads drop, like stuff like that. And it's very commendable. Obviously, it starts with Mikel Arteta, praises to him, but you really
Mm-hmm.
like in the game, I saw a team that not only they believe not only believed that they were better, but believed they could win, and you saw it 100%. They dominated for large portions of the game. They made City uncomfortable. Holland was a complete no show. They took him out systematically. Of the Saliba and Saliba especially and Gabriel was fantastic, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
huge win. And I mean, now these are the type of wins you have to win the title. So I mean, props to them, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think obviously we can't go on without saying City was without De Bruyne
And
and
Rodri,
Rodri,
yeah,
who's arguably who's their most valuable player. Um,
but
but like
Arsenal was without
I
Saka.
think Saka as well, yeah, and Martinelli didn't start and all that stuff, but and Partey played a little bit, but nobody was 100%. But
Mm-hmm.
I think winning without Saka, getting that win, and I remember we talked about the Community Shield. I like when you are losing to a team, and this is not an ordinary team. This is a team that's winning league titles. They don't have your number; they have the whole country's number.
100%.
So just getting one over them is the biggest hurdle, and I think finally we got one. Obviously, this is not we're not beating City every time, but getting that first one, and we are so shit at home. We haven't had a clean sheet at home all season, and to do it against the best team I believe fully healthy in the world was was just unbelievable, man. And we're gonna talk about City themselves, but like Arsenal, it was just an unbelievable win for them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Huge statement, and was happy for them, bro. It's come a long way.
Yeah, yeah. This is
No
I
overthinking in the lineup
finally getting
too.
a seat. Yeah, yeah. It was
Straight back
finally getting a
four.
seat at the big boys tables.
Bring in a.
Yep.
I love the addition of Jorginho into the starting lineup. Just kind of control the tempo and play, poise. That's what he'll bring to your team. Not someone who really panics. And then yeah, like hit
Yeah.
it on the nail. And Raya was scaring me with those clearances, but he's been great.
And that was that's Raya's like he just came from Brentford. So like this is City Arsenal is nothing he's ever played in before,
Yeah,
and
these
and
monster
and
games. Yeah.
and Arteta said himself that he was telling him to hold on to the ball a lot longer than he needed to, just so he can just so they can start attacking the press, but the first half we got lucky, obviously with Alvarez almost hit the side of the net. But the second half he was unbelievable, especially after we scored. He was just hoofing the ball just directly to freaking Martinelli's foot, Gabriel Jesus's foot. It was just unbelievable. I wanted him. I remember Arteta came out and said, "I for a few times this season, I wanted to sub out my keeper, this and this." I was like, "Okay, sub him out at halftime. Right now is your chance." But he played so well in the second half.
He
So,
did.
what did you see with City that from watching that game?
I mean, for me, it's just like they're like you said, their midfield is they're clearly missing something, and I don't even think it's De Bruyne. I think that Rodri is just the heartbeat of that team. Just the things that he does at DM,
Yeah.
how smart he is, the passes that he plays. Um, like I said, Holland was a no-show. I
Hmm.
will give the credit to because we're always quick to kind of throw blame, but credit to Saliba, credit to Gabriel. They were fantastic all night, like you said, no lapses in concentration. Uh, it's very they were uncharacteristically uncomfortable. You don't usually see them like that. They didn't dominate the ball. I
Yeah.
believe the possession was 50-50, almost or flat, which is
Yeah.
that's something you never see with a Pep team. But I mean, obviously you
I
cannot
think
count them
they
out. So
no. You can't. And they like I feel like a little bit like after like maybe the 60th minute, I think City would have been fine getting a draw. They this is if they lost two games in a row. Rodri's not playing, De Bruyne's not playing. Um, like Holland was a no show, as we've said. Alvarez, nobody really did anything. Foden, I think, was the worst player on the pitch. Like he just they didn't get any contributions, and I know they don't have somebody like obviously you won't, but like they don't have a DM for Rodri, like somebody to come and like at least create something, some of the stuff that he does on the pitch, and they've spent money. Obviously Calvin Phillips was supposed to be that person. It just has not worked out. I don't think that's somebody Pep trusts at all, especially in a game like this. But I don't know. I think we talked about it in coming into the season, but they're missing Gundogan, Mahrez. It's starting to show. So,
yeah,
but obviously they're a machine. This is not going to affect them. But
they will go on
I
their
don't think they're a complete team. Yeah,
annual
exactly.
16 game win streak in December to February when teams start to get tired. It's a city staple that they usually start a little sluggish. And to be fair,
Yeah,
they have 18 out of 24 points. It's not like they're doing abysmal. So, um,
no, they are perfectly fine. I think, um, and they've won league titles without. They won a league title with De Bruyne with playing freaking less than 20 games in a league season. So I think they'll. I still have them winning the league. This is not. I'm not gonna. It hasn't changed the title odds or anything like that for me. But they're. I just don't think they're as complete as they have been the years before,
I
and if
agree.
they can be easily exploited.
I agree
Yeah.
that the treble winning team was, in my opinion, was definitely better. Expect like last year's team, for
Yeah.
example. And but their city, like exactly like you said, never count them out. They will go on their win streak. It happens every year. Just last year we didn't think it was gonna happen,
Yep.
and then I think they won their last 13 or something crazy. So
Yeah. They didn't lose a game. I
after
think
like
they just
February, they
drew
did not
games. Yeah.
lose.
Yeah. They didn't lose a game. Yeah. So that was. Oh my god.
But
It was rough. It was a rough few months.
I am not the type of person to say I told you so, but
Yeah.
Chelsea, I said the gears start rolling, we're gonna see great performances start to stack, and that's what you really need with young players. Like you just need to almost like when
Hmm.
a player's in a goal drought, you just need to see the ball like hit the net, and it's exactly what happened with Chelsea. 3 wins now in a row in all competitions.
Yeah.
Since that
Hmm.
shocking defeat with Villa. Obviously, this not this weekend, but the next time we'll see them will be against Arsenal at the Bridge, which will be a huge
Yeah.
game. But 3 wins in a row. And they are now just 5 points off of European places. Obviously, we're very early into the season, but I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah. The young players are performing. Obviously, Jackson scored. Sterling scored. Cole Palmer got his first goal of the season. And we haven't talked about him, but he's been
He's been
an
great.
exceptional addition to their team, and he does so much different stuff. As I don't even know what position he is. They put him in 3-4 different positions already this season. And finally the performances are starting to show. But it's right. Okay, they've won the games now. I think I still don't think they've put on a full 90-minute performance. This game they were down 1-0 like to start the game. So I like consistency is we're seeing it over games now. We need to see it over 90-minute periods, which is all you can ask for. But Jackson, Sterling have 3 goals each this season. And then Cole Palmer, Mudryk came on late, but he's been exceptional as well. But Pochettino slowly he's building a nice team. Anytime you do not hear Caicedo's name or Enzo's name on Twitter, and we haven't heard their names for more than a month
Means
now.
they're playing good.
They're playing great, and there's obviously it's not 10 out of 10 performance, but they're just doing whatever they need to do. They're taking care of business as the world-class midfielders they are.
Yep.
But Chelsea, we'll see where this ends, but I really like where they're headed. And we both said this. I think I said they would lose to Burnley, but I like when you come play against Arsenal and stuff like that, there's no mental lapses, and they have 6-7 of those a game. Obviously Burnley couldn't punish them, but a team like Arsenal will rip you to shreds if you can't concentrate for 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's like exactly like you said. It's building blocks, and they got away with some mistakes, but I
Yeah,
mean they took their chances. They won. They were down early. They dealt with adversity, and stacking wins is no joke. And that's really how teams get hot. So it's a young team, like I said. That just like the ball just needs to go in the net, and once you believe you can, once you believe it, then that's. I mean, when Nkunku comes
absolutely.
back,
Yeah.
sky's the limit for this team. So
Yep. And that's when they
soon,
have a real team. When
very soon,
yeah, he'll be
maybe
coming back soon.
a couple
He's
weeks. So
just as long as he misses the Arsenal game, we're good. He can come back wherever he wants.
yeah,
But
that's true.
but we'll see. We'll see.
And then
And
moving
then
on.
and then
What were you saying?
your favorite topic got a late
Where's the we were this close
a
to
Scott
greatness.
yeah
I didn't
Scott
watch the game
McTominay had
live,
to
but
ruin it.
yeah, I saw a hilarious tweet that was like the youth coach that changed McTominay to a DM needs to like be thrown in jail. He is
Yeah,
so
especially the way
good
he's
going
playing in the
forward.
Euro qualifiers.
He scores
He's
every game.
unbelievable.
He was a
Scores every
striker.
game for Scotland.
He was a striker at youth level, and they moved him to midfield, and he has this talisman in the box. He's great. I didn't watch the game live
Yep,
for
and
this one, but I mean
yeah,
they performed. To be fair, when they weren't great, but they didn't give
yeah.
up. So it's a good win. It's a
They
very
they
needed win.
are they are much needed win. And me and you know Man United very well, and they're down 1-0 for 85 minutes and then win 2-1. They're good for at least 2 or 3 of those a season. I'm still not moved. I think Onana is becoming a huge problem. Obviously, is good for like literally conceding a goal every game, and that not like a world class goal or this and this, but literally his fault is it's starting to become an issue. But as long as you get the win, and now Anthony's back, I think he'll be integrated into the team.
Yeah.
But it's just more of the same for me in terms of I look at performances and how well you're playing for 90 minutes, and we're not seeing it yet, but
Yeah.
anytime you get 3 points is okay.
You're
And
absolved of,
but
of the consequences of not playing well for most of the game, which they did not, to be fair to them. So
they did not, to be fair, yeah. And that will, if you don't get that out of your game, that will come to bite you in the ass. And it did a lot of times last year where they couldn't finish games, they couldn't finish the season. They limped to third place. So we'll see. Now they're obviously in a far worse place, but they've lost half their games this season. Well, we need to see it for long periods of time.
it was almost 5 out of 8. So
Exactly.
So
exactly.
exactly, we need to see more consistent results. But lucky for them, their next couple games, Sheffield and Luton, sandwiched between City, so they can get 2 out of 3 wins there. 6 out of 9 points is not bad. It's commendable.
Yeah, yeah. Especially I think the like I saw tweets where, oh, if we win our next game, we're only 3 points behind City, like stuff like that.
Bro, you cannot
Uh
like being six
yeah,
points behind City 8 games into the season is not a flex. Like it's not what you think it is. It's like you're literally on pace to be 20 plus points behind them. Like it's not. United fans
the
are
math
hilarious, man.
the math ain't mathin'. So
Exactly.
and I've been seeing like a lot of the especially the last 3 years, I want to say, where it said, "Oh, United, this is their worst start to the season since 1967,"
It's
and every
their
year it gets
worst
pushed
start.
back a
It's
little bit.
always the
Yeah,
worst start to the season.
start. Yep. So the United is a funny team. Obviously, we'll be talking about them a lot more. But a win is a win. You can't hate on that. But I don't think they're out of the clear yet. They are not a good team, and they need a lot. They need a lot more than 3 points against Brentford.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Kind of we'll sandwich the next two things into one. Brighton and
Yeah,
Liverpool played this weekend into a 2-2 draw. I mean, both of these teams have been fantastic this season. Like,
yeah.
just how deep is the Premier League this year is absolutely crazy. From from 1 to 9, or from
hmm
1 to 8, there are literally 8 teams, and that's not including United or Chelsea, that are you can realistically see getting European places, which is crazy to think.
Yeah, it's deep, and Brentford is I think easily like a top five, top six contender. Obviously they're playing like it right now. I think Liverpool have higher hopes, but
Brentford or Brighton?
um, Brentford, Brighton. Sorry, did I say
Brighton, okay,
Brentford?
Brighton. Yeah, you said
Brighton. Yeah,
Brentford.
sorry,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah, Brighton. Brighton is obviously a European place contender. They're playing in Europe right now.
Yep.
And they haven't started off well. I think they lost both of their games.
One draw,
Um,
1 loss. They
one
they they
loss.
rescued they rescued the second game, but they should have lost.
They should have lost. So it's they're getting the results in the Prem, but it hasn't really translated into European, but like into Europe. Which says a lot more about their squad and all that stuff. I don't think they're really built for like a four competition team. They're not like that. But they have the war chest, and I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
De Zerbi is gonna get anybody in through the door, at least sometime this season.
maybe January, but I mean, like Brighton, Villa's been playing great. Obviously,
Yeah,
Liverpool is always in the mix. West Ham has been playing good. Even Crystal Palace with Roy
yeah,
Hodgson has been playing well. I mean, 7 goals in 7 games, but they have only allowed seven goals too. So they've been playing a lot very sluggish, slow 1-0 football. But credit to them, they're playing well.
and then for Liverpool, Mo Salah keeps, he's still going, man.
Every year,
The guy is
man, crazy.
a goal assist machine. I think he scored two against Brighton. So it's like for the top four, like all these teams, you said 1 through 8, and that's without Chelsea and Man United. It's just the ability to. That's half the teams in the league, and that means you can lose any week. So all these were. I'm looking. I'm like, oh, like I was looking at our season. I'm like, we played Tottenham already. We played Man City. We played Man United. But then I'm like, we haven't played Brighton. We haven't played Newcastle. We haven't played Aston Villa. I'm just like, it's there's no easy games in the Prem anymore,
No,
especially with the financial backing of these clubs.
absolutely crazy the way teams are spending, bro. Even Burnley this summer spent like wow, almost 100 million.
They need to go get their money back. I don't know what they need
They
to
are
do, but
struggling right now.
they are struggling, man. Company is,
Company ball
I
is
don't know,
not moving me.
man. You need at least one year of like the Prem. You can't just
You
come
just have to
the way you
survive this
played.
year and
Yeah,
then
you just have to
flourish.
survive this year. Yeah, exactly.
No, 100
And
percent.
especially because they have a really young team. They're the youngest team in the Premier League. So just physically is they look far apart from the teams they've played against, and
No,
they don't look particularly close. Like they're a good team tactically, technically, everything. Especially because they completely dominated the championship. But it's just the Prem is completely different animal, man.
I know.
They look like they the Chelsea, who are young themselves, or the second and third youngest team in the Prem, just ate them for lunch.
No, 100% agree. 100% agree. But we'll move off of our Prem to La
Yes,
Liga. We don't usually talk
yeah.
too much about Spanish football, but Real Madrid were back in action this weekend and dominated 4-0 against Osasuna. Jude
Mm-hmm.
Bellingham, are we even surprised at this point? Two goals. Uh, always scores. And Vinicius scored, which was great. And Hoselu got in on the action, but missed a
Got
pen
it.
later. Should have had two, but I mean Real Madrid
Uh
20. Go sorry, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead. I was just reading something here.
24 out of 27 points in the league, two wins out of two in the Champions League. It's we talk about them a lot, like they're struggling, but 10 wins a draw, 10 wins out of 11 and a loss is no easy feat, and they've looked like one of the best teams in the world this season.
Absolutely. I remember after the game, I saw this article from The Athletic saying, uh, I have to write about Jude again. So it's just been, he's been the story of the season. I give him absolutely all the credit in the world for how this season has started. I know everybody, I like, obviously coming into the season, we don't know how things are going to shake out, but we just look at team wise, roster construction, all that good stuff. And there were clear holes in this Real Madrid team,
There are.
and that has not been a problem. I think the one time it was a big thing was Atletico Madrid, and you guys lost. But that's if you're losing one every 11 games, you're taking that. And in the Champions League, it has not been a problem. Jude has been the story of the season. He's performance by performance wise, he's been the best player in the
10
world.
goals in 10
Um,
games as a midfielder is absolutely insane.
yeah, yeah, his numbers do not make sense. But you guys completely dominated. 19 shots, 9 on target. I liked that Modric started this game. Um, I know the last international break he talked a little bit about like his role in the team and stuff like that. He has 3 starts this season. Um, Clearly he's not the same player as he was, but it's good to see him involved, and he played absolutely phenomenal
He's
as he
great when
always
on his
does.
day. Yep.
Yep. So I think Real Madrid is just I have nothing to say because like whatever I say is wrong about them. I don't I don't know. And Jude, Vinny, Rodrigo needs to get his shit together, but I think that's
I
everybody
know.
else.
I
Your
thought he
midfield,
would. I was so close. I was like, he's gonna get benched.
yeah.
He was. He came off the bench and then he just couldn't score. I was so disappointed.
You, but if he finds his form and you have somebody that yeah, you can bring off the bench like that, he's a difference maker. He's a
20
great
goals
player.
last season.
Obviously, yeah, he's just hasn't been producing, but I think it'll come back. And then Vinny scored as well. Vinny's absolutely brilliant. Like I don't know, Carlo deserves a lot of credit for
He
this.
does. He
I
developing
know,
him. He's
I know
developing.
people.
Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
I know people have gotten on him a lot for that Atletico Madrid choices he made, but he's been on point 99% of the season so far. And
Yeah. No.
what more can you say?
They are. They. A lot of people are really quick to they're hesitant to sing their praises, but since he's come back, his second stint with Real Madrid, he has developed players fantastically. That's been by far the best.
Yep.
Fede Valverde has gotten much. Obviously he was a great player before with Zidane really developing him, but has taken the next
Yeah.
steps. Obviously Vinicius has been transformed into I think the best left winger in the world now. Um,
I agree.
And Jude Bellingham now, I mean, we knew he was great, but we didn't know about this. Eduardo Camavinga has been
Hmm.
great, and even Orlan Tchouameni was really good. He played center back this game, and he was great. So I mean,
He,
so
he
far
he
so
was.
good, man.
I think that's the biggest thing that Carlo has brought to the table is like you guys are in this is the greatest rebuilding phase ever because these all these players are so great at such a young age. And there hasn't been a drop off in anything because you guys won a Champions League, a league title within the last 2 years.
Yeah,
So him and he's completely like Jude obviously what he's doing like is just absolutely like phenomenal. I think a lot of that goes to Carlo, but I think his biggest thing is Vinny. Vinny was Vinny is a 2020 player, under him. Like that's he gets 20 goals, 20 assists. That's
absolutely
unbelievable.
crazy.
That's so I don't, I like it's just a lot of things that weren't supposed to work have just completely just meshed so well with each other. I don't think Shumeni was supposed to be this good. Kamavinga, Shumeni obviously has the talent, but I don't think so quickly.
This so
Like
fast,
last year, he
yeah,
was
no,
just thrown off.
100%.
Yeah. Kamavinga is able to just play anywhere. Like he's playing at left back, and there's
Elite.
no drop off.
Yep, he's
And
elite.
somebody and some will say he's playing better than the starting left backs at the club. Um, and it's obviously Militao, all that stuff, injuries, and it's just Carlos doing an unbelievable job. I can't wait for him to get his hands on Brazil and to make a difference there as well. That'll be
No,
my biggest worry for like Madrid now. Obviously, I think this season they're going to compete for everything with the way they're playing. But the drop off when Carlo leaves, if somebody is like that's brought in to like compete now, that's not doing like because Zidane took this talent, got it a little bit better. Carlo took it to another, level. I think the next person is the one that's going to eventually have the team to win the trophies, which was, you know, I think Mourinho developed everybody. There was a little quick hiccup, and then Zidane won the three in a row.
well,
So
Carlo won
Carlo
the
won a
won the
Champions League
10th.
too,
To be
but
fair
yeah,
to him,
Carlo won. Yeah, Carlo won a Champions League in there. But I think it's playing out like that, where you're gonna have a team capable of winning two, three in a row
I mean,
in any competition.
especially, I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen. We've already talked about it, but especially if they go get like a proper nine this summer, like if Mbappe comes for free, then like and the rumors with Davies are true. Oof, sky is the
Yeah,
limit for this team. I mean, that would be probably the best team in the world, at least on paper. So
absolutely. You guys are not far off.
no,
It's the best teams in the world now are like 11 good players. Um, I think Madrid will have like 9 world class players in a team.
it's
It's going to be
absolutely crazy,
nasty
man.
work,
And they're all young and they have a chance to
nasty
grow
work.
together. And this midfield four, Bellingham, Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouameni is just criminal, dude. To have all these players and the oldest one is Valverde at 25. That is
Yep,
absolutely
yep.
crazy. So the next, just imagine in 2, 3 years when Camavinga is going to be 22, Bellingham is going to be 22, 23, Chouameni is going to be like 25, and Valverde is going to be 28. Oof, like I can't even imagine. These players are going to, history tells us these players are getting better. So this, just the sky is the
Yeah.
limit for this team. And obviously, like, I remember with Vinny, for example, the season after 2 years ago when they won the Champions League, I was like, okay, Vinny had a 2020 season, but like, really, what can he get better? And I just remember the first game, like, he took two guys on and then ripped one like far post. And I was like, I've never seen Vinny do this ever. So there's just going to be moments where these players really surprise you.
Yeah, and then Vinny physically, he looks unbelievable. He's so big now. He's just strong as a bull.
You see him run the
And
keeper.
obviously with that, yeah, he's just
It's
I
confidence, bro.
I
It's all
I
confidence.
it's spooky, man. I was talking to somebody the other day. The finish against Napoli, where it was like a classic Thierry Henry finish.
The one
You just
touch and
open
the
your
and
hips,
the
and it was just like, yeah, unbelievable, bro. He could that shot would have went to the sky 2 years ago. Two and a
Oh
half
yeah.
years
Oh, he
ago.
wouldn't have tried
He's
it.
just
He would not have
unbelievable.
tried
He
it.
would not have tried it exactly, and
It's confidence,
that was,
and that's
yep.
what Carlos
And he knows
always.
he's the man.
Yeah, it's his
He knows
team.
he's the man.
And that's what Carlos always been great at, is putting players in the best position to succeed. We even saw with when he the first time he was at Madrid with Cristiano, really the first manager to put an attacking midfielder right behind him when he put Di Maria as that LCM, and just kind of just said,
Yeah.
Cristiano, like, just you're absolved of anything defensively. Don't even worry about it. Just, just put yourself in the best positions to score. So I mean, Mourinho started it, but Carlo just, that is his style. He doesn't really play. Obviously, people joke about it and be like, "Oh, he has no tactics," but his tactic is, I put the best 11 players on the field and I put them in the positions that they are most comfortable with. And props to him. Jude for me was always an 8. He has been playing him like a 10 that can also play defensively, but has way less
Hmm.
responsive defensive responsibilities with the DM right behind him. Like hats off, credit to him where it's due. The position he's been putting Jude in, I don't think that there's another manager in the world who would have put him in that role, and it's paid dividends. And that's his position now. He owns that spot on the field.
Yeah, and congratulations to him too. He graduated with a doctorate today. So
Who?
Carlo, yeah,
I did not know that.
congratulations to
I
him.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Congratulations to
so
him.
yeah, he's giving a speech I saw earlier. So the guy is very accomplished, man.
He is.
Hopefully he adds a World Cup to his resume. I
I
don't think
know. I
it
can't
can
wait
get
to
any
see him
better.
in,
But
in international management. But we'll move on
yeah,
to the other big team. Barcelona struggled, which was a
yeah,
change of scenery. Down 2-0, they conceded in 16 seconds, but obviously a lot of the news comes on the other side. Yamal was the youngest goal scorer in La Liga history. I think still 15,
yeah,
correct? 16 now. July
yeah.
July 13th. So
16, yeah,
crazy, absolutely crazy. But another set of drop points. This is now back-to-back games, I believe, where are 2 games in 3 where they've dropped points. But this title race, Girona has been playing great. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and
hmm,
Atletico. If they win, it'll be 5 in a row, and they'll be just 2 points back of the leaders. So it's been a great season so far for Spanish football.
yeah. And Barca, they have Lewandowski didn't play that game. And then Kunde and Yamal were both subbed out for injuries. But I don't know. Like Lamine is unbelievable, obviously. But I remember when Cancelao got there and João Felix and they scored what two games back to back 5-0, 5-1 or something like that. We thought this whole Xavi ball was over with. I thought Prime Barca was back, or at least something in close to that, but they're just back to themselves. And their defense is severely lacking now, and that's a big problem. They're conceding left and right. Obviously, they had a really good game in against Porto over in the Champions League, but their defense in La Liga at least has been struggling. They're not as what were they? I think they conceded less than 15 goals last year. Was it
Yeah, they were
16 or something like that?
crazy
Um,
defensive record last year. Yes,
Yep, and I think they're more than halfway there already this
they're 10
season, and
and
we're
10 in
only
9 games.
8, 9
So
games. Yep.
yeah.
So they're scoring when they don't have everybody, and they're conceding left and right. And then I think Brian Zaragoza is the one he cooked. Oh my God, the second goal was unbelievable. But I it's going to be a tough race. I have Barcelona winning La Liga. But with the way Madrid is looking, I think that's their only competition. But it's good to see Girona at least
And
like be in
Atletico,
the
you
race.
don't think
Atletico Madrid,
Atletico is
yeah,
is a threat?
I think they're a threat in terms of just like they'll finish top four. They can beat Barca and Madrid. But I think over a what 36 game season, it's going to be a little bit tougher.
I
But they
think they
can
can
beat
win
them.
it.
They
I
and
think
they
they can
showed
win
it.
it. Their team is absolutely crazy, and they beat La Real on the weekend, which is not an easy game. And
Yeah,
Griezmann is turning back the clock, like his 2016, the way every game he's scoring. Um, They just brought in smart
No,
people.
Griezmann's yeah, Griezmann's playing well. They made great additions to their team.
Yeah,
But but Madrid and Barca are, I don't know. I think that's just a little bit ahead of them.
I
But
think it's a three-headed
this is who
race.
Atletico Madrid have been. Do you think so?
Yeah, I do. I
I
think
I what they won, what, who was it, 3 years ago they won the league.
3 years ago,
So, and then the year, and
Zidane,
then yeah,
not
3 years ago they
Zidane's.
won the league.
Yeah,
2020 season.
Was it Zidane's last year? They won the league. I believe it was. It was Zidane's
Yeah,
last
so
year because Carlo came the next year and won the league. So
I think they got their league title for the decade. They'll try again in the 2020s.
but we'll move on.
But they're a tough team, man.
No, they are, but we'll
They're a
move
tough
on. We,
team.
we barely got to talk about this last week. We do have a little bit of time, so we can.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
World Cup. What do you think about
yeah.
that? Like, we never really got to talk about what
uh,
the hell that was. Like, what the announcement. 6 countries, three for the host games, and then it switches all the way to a different continent. What do you think about that, man? That's
I remember I just looked into it a little bit because I saw a brief, just a blip of it somewhere, and then they will be playing in Paraguay, Uruguay, and Argentina, but the official World Cup games will be in Morocco, Spain, and then another country, I believe,
Portugal.
um, Portugal. And that was just, I've never seen that. Like, I think it's been done. I believe, was it the 2002 where it was in like Japan and like another country
And South Korea,
nearby,
yeah.
South Korea. But this is six, and it's spanning three continents. And Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay are so far away from Morocco, Portugal, and Spain that it's just like a competitive disadvantage. Like, I don't know how people will I don't know how this has been allowed. Like,
I know.
just
It's
it makes
funny
no
at the end of
sense.
the day, but I feel the teams I feel the worst for are not even like Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay who are gonna play their first games in their home country. It's like that poor like they're
Yeah,
gonna play some poor country like Japan or something who's gonna have to travel all the way to Argentina and then go all the way back to Morocco for the same group.
yeah, it's oof. I don't- I get that it's I know the bidding is like very like shady and very competitive, and there's a lot of like just crimes committed when it comes to having a World Cup at in your country. Um, and I know Paraguay, Uruguay, and Argentina put in a bid together, all three of them, and obviously they didn't win it, but like that's it. Like, I like, are we gonna do an anniversary for every
Like
World
if it
Cup
was
coming
the
on now? Is
centennial
it
and you wanted it there, then just make it there. But you cannot have like
that's that's the easiest way to just rig a bid, you know, just say this is the 100th, and this is where it started all. Let's do it there, and then all the other countries can bid another time. But I just feel so bad for those teams, man.
I know.
Like, that is a far journey. Like, I don't know, South America is far, man.
3 games and then it's like 3 continents. It doesn't make any sense, but we'll see. I mean, I'm happy Morocco. Morocco is one of the hosts. That's gonna be good. Obviously, it's the new format starting in 26 with 48 teams now instead of 32, which means we're gonna see a lot more fixtures.
Yeah.
But
Argentina versus Nigeria in Argentina is gonna be a special a match. But that's I don't like it, man. But what do you think of the new format? Do you think,
I actually don't
I'm not
mind the
sure how it
48
works
team format
completely.
because I think that one of the big problems with the World Cup was some of the federations were just getting screwed, especially Africa. I
Yeah,
think for Africa to only have 5
yeah.
teams going to the World Cup for me was always crazy. Like that is, they have great teams miss out on the World Cup. Last year it was Algeria and Nigeria. There's always a good team obviously that misses out for from Africa. So for now for sorry, for them to now have 10 spots is huge, especially with Morocco making the semifinals. But I mean
Hmm.
obviously I'm really happy that the group stages in this past World Cup were great because they were gonna do 12 groups of or sorry 18 groups of three, I believe, and instead they're gonna do 12 groups of four, which I think is way better.
Okay.
And basically like first and second make it as always, but third
Are they third has a chance now?
it's like
Like, are they gonna do it
the
like the
top
Euros?
eight. Yeah, it's exactly like the Euros, where like they're gonna copy the Euros, but
Okay.
before they were gonna do groups of three, which I think is stupid. Um,
Yeah,
because
that's
it
awful.
takes a lot of the the suspense away because then you don't have simultaneous games on the last day, which is like the excitement of the group stage. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's definitely
But
interesting, but
the next World Cup, however, is in our backyard. Will
it
you be
is
going to any games?
100%.
Are they hosting? Are they hosting any like in your? I know they sent out a bunch of like stadiums.
No,
Is
Chicago's
your
not in the
city's
running.
stadium in there?
No.
No.
Chicago didn't want to
Yeah,
pay
I think.
for renovations for Soldier Field, so they're not in the World Cup. But there'll be a game in
Oh my
Kansas City
God.
and Nashville, but there won't be one in Chicago.
I saw. Will there be a one in Lambeau?
No, no
I
Green
don't think
Bay. No,
so.
that city's too small, bro. They go
I
5 minutes away from the stadium. The players are gonna be like, "What in the hell is this?" Could you imagine Mbappe in Green Bay?
Hey, bro. You know, Green Bay is. I remember the Bayern game that you went to.
I know
The
all the
Bayern Man
players
City game.
camped in the hotel, bro. They were not going out. You cannot have a World Cup camp in Green Bay, bro. That would be pretty funny, though. I
Yeah, the
can't
World Cup
lie.
is. I feel like from the Qatar World Cup, it was scattered all over, but like a lot of teams were playing in the same stadium for several games,
Hmm.
and you could just see the mobs traveling. You know, like the just the Argentinians, the Ghanaians,
That
and
must have been
the
so
all of
special
them
for like
just
the whole World Cup to be in
oh
one city.
yeah, bro, that is it's gonna think I think the closest one to us would probably be. I'm not sure. I know they're hosting one in
Nashville, Kansas
Vancouver and
City, uh,
where else?
a lot of the
Houston, I think
city.
has one.
Houston, Dallas has one.
California has a lot.
Yeah, San
Um,
Francisco, Los Angeles, New York. Obviously, will the final will probably be at MetLife. I would be surprised if it's not at SoFi.
that's nasty. I think they have what 2 years now to like get at least the pitches correctly because that's the
It's a
U.S.
World Cup.
stadiums
I
are
think
not
they'll be
very.
fine.
I don't know, bro. You saw all the injuries this
Bro,
season from
international
all the
players do
freaking the
not
torn
mess with.
ACLs.
They do not mess with turf, bro. They will not go anywhere near if the pitches are not up to standard. But yeah, Toronto has a game. Vancouver, a bunch
Yeah.
of cities. Seattle has. Wow, some of those stadiums to host World Cup games are going to be like CenturyLink is going to be really nice. SoFi is crazy. Uh,
SoFi is gonna be SoFi is a
such a
beautiful stadium, man.
beautiful
What about
stadium.
the Las Vegas stadium?
Las Vegas
The what is it called? The Globe?
Allegiant Stadium, yeah,
I,
has a game
I hope
too.
that one has a game. The Sphere, I think,
Yeah, they have a
where
game in
ads
Las
cost
Vegas,
like
but I
a
think
million
it's at
dollars.
Allegiant, and then Miami I think has a game, or the one of the venues,
We
and
gotta
then
roll
in
we gotta roll deep. We gotta
yeah.
pull up to one game,
Oh,
inshallah.
it's a bucket list, bro. You have to go
Everybody.
to a World Cup game once in your life.
Yeah, we have to. I just hate that we're not getting like just the campus atmosphere of like Qatar, you know, and like Russia and like all those countries where it's just like
It's very
millions of
scattered,
people across the world meshed together. Yeah, it's very scattered. But the
but
US is
it's
kind of, everywhere is drivable, so it's not a big issue, but still
worst case you just
niggas
fly
got
out,
jobs,
bro,
you know.
and the cities are
Yeah.
humongous, so it's not like there's gonna be a hotel shortage in freaking Dallas, bro. So
Yeah. No, I can't wait. It'll be nice to finally experience a World Cup in our ends, you know.
I know,
So
and it's the first 48,
we
and I
shall
think
see.
we will probably kick off the World Cup because I believe the opening game is. I don't think they've decided the official venues, but the U.S. will probably kick off the World Cup. That's gonna be exciting, bro. 3 years away, man. 3 years away.
Yeah, and we don't have to worry about USA not qualifying because they automatically get in,
Yep,
and I think Canada and Mexico as well.
they do
So
as well.
they do have some in, yeah. So I
Yeah,
can't wait. That'll be
yeah,
nice,
very
inshallah.
exciting. But we'll kind of move off of that. We can talk. a little bit of Serie A. We rarely do. We kind of make it brief, but I mean, couple
Yeah,
headlines. Milan won again, and Olivier Giroud was heroic. He had a save. He had the catch at the end in goal. Uh, got mobbed
yeah.
by his teammates after the game. One nil.
That
One nil.
that was such a gutsy. Oh my, because it was like it's like those. Because I was watching the highlights. I didn't watch the game. Um, it looked like their goalkeeper did nothing wrong, and then you saw the replay, and he just completely
And
just
yeah, and it just destroyed him.
gave him CTE on the spot. Um, and then for Giroud to dive like that as somebody that's like never played goalkeeper in his life. Oh, it was shout
It
out
was
to
so
I
nice. It was
don't
a
like that
moment.
guy, but um I hate Giroud, but that was that was a great
It
moment.
was a
It
great
was
moment.
crazy.
And then
I saw him. He was putting on the top like while running to the.
yeah, it was
It was
crazy, man. Those
out
are
of the movies.
the
Yeah,
best moments in football or stuff like that. But in the other side, Mourinho, there was
yeah,
rumors that he might get sacked this weekend, and then they go and pull out a 4-1
yeah.
win. And Lukaku again, man. I think 7 games, 7 goals, 2 goals today. They're
Yep.
playing.
Are you are you are you falling for it again? Are
I
you
honestly
buying
don't. I don't
the
even
what
think it's. I
Lukaku's
don't even
selling?
know it's a. I don't even know if it's a. Am I buying it? I think just anytime he leaves Chelsea, he like remembers how to play because he has
Yeah.
obviously United. The memes were pretty funny, but Inter he was insane. The first run, then the
Hmm.
second run he was okay. He was above average. I mean, he was playing well, and now Roma he is.
He contributed.
Who needs Tammy Abraham right now?
The
They are cooking.
no, they started off the season. I think they didn't win a game in their first like 4 games, and then they're 10th right now, but they've won 3 of their last 5, and they only lost one of those. So like they drew one, won 3, and then lost 3. Um, I don't think Mourinho's job is in danger. I don't think it should be.
No, of course
They
not.
have a lot of flaws in their team. I got them to a European final, and I think they will go
Two,
far again, especially
two
with somebody
European
like yeah,
finals.
2 Europeans. They won one, yeah, and then
Yeah,
lost in a heartbreaker
to
to
Sevilla.
Seville, uh, Sevilla. But Lukaku is just one of the like he will be a case study in when the history of football is told because he's just such a like a unique when it comes to his career. It just leaves Everton for Man United down, goes to Inter, comes back, £100 million player, does
Flops.
absolutely nothing, flops, and then the next year is in a freaking a European final, and then the team doesn't want him back, especially because he was going out. I want Juve, I want this, all that stuff. They took that the wrong way, and now he's actually. I think Roma should be his home. I think this is somewhere. I think Serie A should be where he stays.
Yeah,
Like I
he's
don't think his footballing ability is anywhere near the Prem or anything like that.
no. He needs to
So
relax before he burns more bridges, bro. It's enough. He's already burned bridges in London. He's burned in
yep.
Manchester and burned them in Milan. So I mean, I'm happy for him, bro.
Yeah, it's he's just one of the like everybody likes Lukaku, but I don't I that the European final left a weird taste in my mouth because that header,
That
man,
and that
that was
Croatia
oof.
game. Oh,
Yeah, that Croatia game. Oh my
oh,
God,
I've
what a
never seen
terrible
a
season for him.
horrible. That was the worst performance I've ever seen from a striker, and I'm not saying that just to say that. Like, he genuinely should have had 4 goals. I don't even know. Man, and he always does that little like the one of those. He's a meme, like you said. His story is very
He's
interesting, but
I had Belgium winning that World Cup that year.
still can't believe
Oh
that.
oh my God. I who was it Thierry Henry watching? Like there was a lot. There's a few famous people
He
at
was the
like
assistant
watching those
coach.
World Cup.
He was the assistant
Yeah,
coach.
just yeah, and he was in disbelief at what chances.
I've never seen
Oh my
that
God.
like open couple open goals. Crazy, crazy.
Yeah, Lukaku is just he's a character, man. So it's good. I like when his name is circulating like this. I think I like when he's making headlines, especially playing well. But Roma have a lot of work to do. I think they'll finish the season, especially because now they have a goal scorer, somebody capable of just scoring every game. But they're a long ways from Inter, from Juve, even from AC, and even Atlanta and all those guys. So they have a long way to go. I think Mourinho is probably he's gonna parlay this to like a decent club size job. I think that was his intention, especially
Yeah.
if he won the Europa League title. Um, but I saw today Napoli are looking to hire Conte, so that's
That's
it's
gonna be
just
great.
Italian football is in yeah that's gonna be great.
That's a great league, but
I think he's someone that will try to keep Osimhen in Naples.
yeah,
That'll be good to see.
yeah, it would be. I mean, he declined the PSG job this summer, so.
He did, yeah, he did.
But
I don't understand how that guy is so wanted. Like I don't get it.
who, Conte or
He
Mourinho?
every summer, yeah, no Conte,
No, no, no. It was
Conte.
Mourinho who declined the
Every
PSG job, not Conte.
Mourinho declined.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
not
yeah.
Conte. Okay, Mourinho, I think will ultimately take a what's it called uh country job,
I
I
think
should
so. I
say.
was surprised he
But
didn't take the Portugal job, but
yeah, we'll see.
yeah. All right, we'll end off with the segment we like to call 352. We
Yes,
put
sir.
5 minutes on the clock, three takes each, and obviously for the two of us, you want me to start?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Right, for a change. So my first one is AFCON related.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you were disappointed with Yamal who chose to go to Spain. Sorry, but
Yeah.
they got Brahim Diaz this week, and I think this is probably sacrilege to say as Algerian Tunisian, but I think Morocco are my favorites for AFCON. I think if I had to pick a team right now, I think it would be them to win.
Uh, I think that I think I agree with you because coming off a World Cup, this is the first tournament since their great run. And they have just basically the same team. They just added to it, you know. Nobody has everyone's gotten better. I think the only person I think is Hakim Ziyech, who's playing in the Turkish league, not in the Power Five leagues, but he's still a contributor. So I agree with you.
Yeah, no, for me, it's like between them, Algeria, Senegal, and Nigeria. Those are the big teams.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. What about your first
All right,
one?
my first one is I think Norway qualifies for the Euros.
Okay.
They're currently third in their group, which is led by Scotland, who have been undefeated, and then Spain, and then Norway is third. Norway, in their entire history, has only one qualification, which I believe was 2000, which some of their players were probably not even born or a year or two old. But I think they find a way to qualify. They played six. They have 10 points. Spain has a game in hand with 12 points, and then Scotland has 15 points. So I think Norway qualifies. It'll be difficult. They have games remaining against Scotland and Spain. So I think they need those wins, but I think they qualify at the end.
Yeah, no, the Odegaard and Holland duo would be great to see this summer.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see them at a big tournament, man. They
Um,
haven't played in anything. They missed the
I'll
World Cup. They missed
I'll
the Euros
bump
before that.
I'll bump up my second one because we're talking
Yeah.
Euros.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna laugh, but I picked two favorites. I picked my AFCON favorite, and now I'm gonna pick my Portugal favorite. And I think
Okay.
it's the redemption story for Roberto Martinez. I think Portugal are my favorites right now. I think for the Euros.
I that would ties into my second, and I'll say I think France are just gonna cakewalk this
That's
competition.
so boring, man.
It is, but like they look completely like on another tier compared to everybody else. They have they have an easy group. They played the Netherlands today and completely just dismantled them. But Kylian Mbappe, he loves international competitions. I don't think he cares about the league and the Champions League that much. because of just the team he's on and stuff like that. But I think, especially how they went out last time, this will be a revenge tour. I think they're the best team clearly in the world, with the best player in the world, and with the best depth, everything. They are a complete
Talent,
team.
they're
I think
number one for sure.
Yeah, and I think they K-walk. Obviously, that's not a make or break prediction, but I think they'll make it. They'll make
This
it look
Euros
easy.
is gonna be like, I'm
Yeah,
so
it's
excited,
loaded.
man. Exactly. And then
Yeah.
you said earlier this podcast. Oh, I really should not be making this prediction because I'm gonna get clowned if it's not true. But you said earlier that Barca win the league,
Yeah.
and that's not happening. I think this is. I've seen enough to be content with saying I think Real I'll say they're in the driver's seat. How about that?
No, that's not good enough. I need you to put a name out there. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win La Liga?
Real Madrid.
Uh,
How about this? I'll put an asterisk on it, okay? Real Madrid will win the league if Vinicius and Bellingham stay healthy for the majority of the season. I think that's we can say that's fair. Because obviously
think
Bellingham gets hurt, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Jude has been, pretty healthy like throughout his career. He's had a few injuries here or there, but nothing major. And Vinny has already missed, I believe, 5 games this season.
Yeah.
I think that's a tough task because of just they have nobody else.
Fixtures,
Yeah.
loaded fixtures. Yeah.
With the games they're playing, Vinny's playing in World Cup qualifiers, and Jude is playing in Euros qualifiers. So there's no breaks for them. But
yeah, no.
I have Barca. I think they're a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
I think over a 30, 38, 36 game season, I think they do okay. But and my third one will be a Euro based.
Okay, another Euros.
Another Euros. Right now, Turkey is number 1 in their group, in Group D. They're in that group with Croatia, Armenia, Wales, and Latvia.
Yep.
I think they'll qualify, obviously, but I think they make some noise. I think it's time for Morocco in the World Cup. I think the next team. I'm not saying it's Turkey, but I think they're in contention. Obviously,
they're dark horses.
Yeah, they're my dark horses. Obviously, your boy, he's injured right. Yeah, he's injured right now, but he will be a great contributor in that tournament. But I have them as a dark horse for that.
You know why it's funny? Because they were my dark horses for 2020, and we know how that ended up. They lost. Yeah. They got spanked every game. So they have a great team. They have Canoglu, who's been great. Obviously, Sayanshu, who's been doing well at Atletico Madrid. Top to bottom, their goalkeeper, I believe, is I'm forgetting the name, but he's the backup for Manchester United. And probably
he hasn't been able to play because Onana needs every minute he can get, so he can get better.
And Burak will probably that's his last tournament as for Turkey. So gonna be a great game.
That's a legendary keeper, Dortmund all-timer. So
but that was another episode in the books. We'll obviously be taking
episode 16.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. That's all I wanted to say.
No. Just take a nice little break this week. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks. But looking forward to more UCL when we get back. We got the Prem coming back. Talk about international and start to look ahead for the Euros and for AFCON in January. It's been a good season so far, and on to more things, bro.
Absolutely, bro. I can't wait. Inshallah.
Yes. Take care, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Peace.